everybody, and welcome back to Nerd Dad's Gaming Lair. We just got done playing Call of Duty, and I thought, hey, it'd be cool if we did some flying. So, I want to fly. But I found this really cool stuff it's an individual modders page. There's not really a whole lot of official mods for Flight Simulator yet, but this guy has taken the time to make some really, really cool stuff for us flight sim nerds. And I really want to share it with you because I was super excited when I found it. So you'll see I've got my my flight sim flight planning window up, and I'm having a regular Airbus A320 up here. Well, let me click this and show you some things that showed up in my aircraft inventory today. Look, I have a DeLorean now, and the Starship Enterprise, and an F-14 Tomcat now. Another Star Trek NCC 1701. I have the Millennium Falcon, a TIE Fighter, an X-Wing, and I'm not quite sure what this is. It's called the Viper. It doesn't have really good graphical representation, but I'm really excited for the Star Wars ships because I'm a humongous Star Wars nerd. In fact, my son is named after a Star Wars character because I was lucky enough my wife let me do that. So I think we should fly some Star Wars ships. How about you? I think it'd be really, really cool. So I have it set for Sydney, Australia, and I don't know. Let's start out with the Millennium Falcon. Let's see what the Millennium Falcon can do in Sydney, Australia. So we're just going to take off in Sydney and check out Australia from the viewpoint of the Millennium Falcon. Super cool. I did fly these earlier. They're really, really cool and detailed on the outside. On the inside, they're lacking, right? So the guy took the time to make these really great things for us, but he didn't get to do all the gauges and the interiors. That's where all the hard work is. He was able to pull models that already existed to work off of, but they didn't have anything inside of them because they're made for 3D printing, really, or using inside of games. So they're a little flat on the inside, but I'm going to back out from the outside and show them to you because I think they're super awesome. This will load here in a second, and we'll get to flying in the Millennium Falcon over Sydney, Australia. It's going to be really cool. I flew the Falcon earlier. I'll show you some cool things that it does. Takes a minute to load. There we go. Here we go. It's coming along. This game is a resource hog, man. It is in constant need of more and more resources. It normally pulls down like 16 gigs of RAM, and it's really not that heavy on my CPU or my GPU. It's more heavy on my CPU for all the texture processing. But all right, come on, let's go. I'm excited. I don't want to wait for you to load. It's almost done. This is running on a M2 NVMe SSD, and it still takes a while to load. Okay, so we're at Sydney Airport.
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 right.
There's the Millennium Falcon sitting on the runway in Sydney, Australia. I think that's super awesome. Okay, let's see what it does. So you start out inside, obviously, and like I said, it's lacking on the inside. That's for sure. Super lacking. It's like it does its own thing. It's pulling forward on its own. All right. There are no noises to these ships either. He based them off of a simple piston aircraft and just wrapped them with the Star Wars, models on the outside. So, all right, look out, Sydney. Look out! Yeah, my engine isn't started. That's because I have thrusters. I don't have an engine. Look out, Sydney, Australia. Here comes Millennium Falcon. And we're flying in the Falcon. Oh. Okay. So, like I said, there's no noises. There's no engine noise. Increase my flaps. I'm gonna have to pull down my my trim a bit because this thing flies funny. It also has problems with physics, so the physics aren't quite right. I can do things in this that I should not be able to do in an airplane, right? And the landing gear does not come up at all. I'm going to speed up my simulation just a bit so we get a little bit more feel for
You're leaving my airspace frequency change.
what it looks like.
Sydney Tower frequency
Because you wouldn't be going that slow in the Millennium Falcon if you were really driving it.
2 miles east of Sydney, 600 feet.
Okay, we're going to
Request
buzz
clearance
Sydney.
to transition Charlie airspace. Approach.
Look out, Sydney, Australia.
5522. Squawk 5522. Radar contact 3 miles east of Sydney, 400 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
I don't know what people would do if the Millennium Falcon started flying this close to their houses. I would freak out. I would definitely go outside and watch, though. But yeah, I should not be able to do this in an aircraft, right? This is totally outside the laws of physics. This would be really detrimental to any regular aircraft. All you hear is birds. There's zero engine noise. Alright, let's see if we can touch the water in the Millennium Falcon. What do you think? Can we do it? Maybe. Oh, let's dip. Ooh, so close. So close. We're gonna have to pull up. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Ooh, I touched it. Oh yeah, shouldn't be able to do any of that. This is also cool too. So the pack that came with these ships also came with this stuff that just like exists in the world now. So this one happens to be off the coast of the Sydney airport, and it's just a bunch of robots fighting on a spaceship. It's really cool. I super duper enjoy flying the Millennium Falcon in Flight Sim. So this is just one of the many models that he made. We go check some others out in here in a second. They have the TIE Fighter and an X-Wing. I haven't flown any of the Starship Enterprise, you know, the Star Trek stuff. So we might check some of those out too. Let's see. What else can we sightsee here in Sydney before we back out and go get another vehicle? I think an X-Wing would be really cool. Ooh, almost bit it there. It's really hard to get close to the ground. And I'm running the simulation at 2x right now too. So this is actually a lot faster than the simulation would actually go. This is 1x speed. I feel like that's way too slow. If you're going to ride the Millennium Falcon, you're going to be going fast. Making the Kessel run here. Alright. Take this turn. Oh. Yeah, should not be able to do this in an aircraft. Any other flight simulator plane would just die. Horrible, horrible death. Not the Millennium Falcon. Okay, so I'm gonna let it fly here for a second, and we're gonna take you around it. So underneath, it's really detailed. The landing gear does not come up, no matter what you do. The landing gear refuses to come up. That's okay. It's really detailed on the outside as well. There's still a little bit of, you see that green and the red on either side, the dots. I don't know if you see it now. Yeah, right there, that green dot by the cockpit.
The approach on 124.554.
That's kind of an artifact, but it's still really cool.
124.554.
This is an
Sydney
older
approach
model
1,400
of the Millennium Falcon, and there aren't any blue lights. You know, it really should be backlit with blue, but definitely not. So I have to make the noises because it doesn't make the noises. I'm getting some trees here, and Australia is pretty, isn't it? A lot of green. See if I can get in this valley. Because you can do things in these that you can't, like I said, you cannot do in a regular flight sim aircraft. You can get in a lot more trouble. Really hard though, and I am going at 2x simulation speed. So it's even more difficult because everything is really touchy. Having to get really tight on the controls here. Yeah. I like how the fog's rolling in here. I've never been to Australia. If anybody sees this from Australia, let me know. Is this really like a typical occurrence, all this fog? Kind of looks like indoor, man. We're gonna find some Ewoks. Ooh, almost hit the ground there. Fly sideways. Because there's zero like where the lift is in the aircraft. There's no center of lift, so you can just fly it upside down. You know, basically whatever you want to do. It still will crash. I've verified that. You can do barrel rolls that you can't do in regular aircraft in this game. You can do like nearly endless barrel rolls. Ugh. The one thing that's terrible about these, like I said, is the cockpit view. So this is the inside cockpit view. You really don't get much. It's pretty bad. But
approach continue as planned.
No, baby, it's too late. You've got to go to bed, sweetie. You've got to go to bed, sweetie. Katie's trying to stay up. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. All right, so let's get out of this and let's go get us an X-wing. What do we think?
Frequency change approved. Sydney approach is type
should
12
I
miles
crash it
southeast
though?
of Yankee
That's the
Sierra
real
Hotel
question.
Whiskey. Request flight following.
Crashing into the ocean.
Squawk 0311.
Ooh.
Squawk 0311.
All right, we have officially crashed the Millennium Falcon into the ocean outside of Sydney, Australia. All right, let's go get an X-wing. Well, let's pick a different place to fly. We've already been to Australia. Let's go fly somewhere different. Menu, take a second. The load times aren't too bad with the M2 NVMe. They're not great either. This game is gigantic, so you know, take what you can get, I suppose. All right, let's move the timeline here a bit. Let's see what we can get up in. It's pretty cloudy over here, Norway. Let's clear off some stuff. Let's go with weather, clear skies. Let's go up here. Oops. I'm gonna fly. We can go from Germany. Let's see. I don't know anything. I know I've flown out of Gardermoen. It's really pretty at Gardermoen, so I'm gonna set that as a departure. Let us get an X-wing. What do you say? X-wings are cool. All right. So let's fly an X-wing from Gardermoen Airport here. The X-wing is also a really well done model. Even I'll show you in a minute. It has an R2-D2 on top. It's really cool. The downside to the X-wing, its takeoff is terrible. In fact, the guy who made these says that you shouldn't attempt to take them off from the runway. You should always start them mid-air because the takeoff is gonna be terrible in every one of them. But I think it's worth it to try and take off. Make a realistic run for it here. I'll show you what they do. They kind of lean into the runway. It's really hard to get them stable. They want to sit into the runway and not go anywhere, but we can get them out of it. Come on. You can load. Load faster. Come on. Alright, there we go.
Ready for departing straight out at runway 19er right.
Okay, so this is the view from inside the X-wing. It's pretty unspectacular, right? There's the outside view. So you see there's R2-D2 right on top? Yeah. My little R2-D2. And, the bottom wings of my X-wing are definitely stuck into the runway, which is the problem here. I have to kind of pull them out a bit as we go forward. But it will take off. It's dog slow at the beginning. Really, really, really slow takeoffs. I have not tried to land one of these. I assume the landing would be just horrible. So, we're about up to speed. You don't get any speed indicators. You get altitude indicators, but zero speed indication. So you have to kind of guess. But that's okay. We can guess. It's worth it to fly in an X-wing. Okay, we're going to trim down a hair. I'm at full throttle, trim down, that's probably about right, and we'll speed up simulation so it's a little more realistic flying. Ooh, that was bad. Okay, that didn't happen. Pretend like that didn't happen. It's perfectly fine. X-Wings can take a hit and keep on going. There we go. We're good. That didn't happen. I was trying to do a roll. The roll in this X-Wing is pretty tough, actually. You gotta pull way back. It wants to dip real hard when it comes over.
Photo center is type 2 miles southwest of Gardermoen, 1,200 feet. Request
Yeah.
clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
I don't think you see an X-Wing coming over your farmland every day.
Squawk 1202.
That's for sure.
Squawk 1202.
Alright, so we're gonna leave it full throttle.
South of Gardermoen, 1,200 feet. Cleared
Find
through
some
the
water.
Charlie airspace. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Yeah, we have to trim down a bit because we are just really nosediving this thing. Alright, now we're at speed. That might have been why I had such a hard time with the barrel rolls. Let's barrel roll. Yeah, that was why. You pull out at the end, you're fine. But you do have to pull up at the end of a roll in this one. But the physics aren't as bad as the Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon physics are like way off. This one's a little bit better. Let's go to 3x speed. This is actually a 8x speed at the moment. Hope that doesn't look bad on the stream, but it's a lot cooler when you're going fast. I wish there were engine noises. I may have to find a way to mod his mod and put the engine noises in. The rudders do weird things. See, you just can fly completely sideways with the rudders. It really doesn't affect anything. Physics are way off, but that's okay. Let's follow the stream. Get some upward angles here. My engines are obviously started. Or I would not be in the air. I really wish there were guns on this. Be taking out some droids, man. Okay. The river over here, a little bit more. This is a pretty country, man. I live kind of in a very flat, not really desert, but there's no big trees as far as you can see. It's not super beautiful, and it's real hot. Fly close to the water. I don't know what that anomaly is there. It looks like the water's like encroaching on the bank on either side, based on whatever map data they used. Oop, we touched it. We dipped in the water. We're just washing the bottom of the X-Wing off. R2's doing the driving. So this also gets me really excited for Squadrons, man. It comes out in October. And definitely going to be interesting to be able to fly and shoot. Go into the bridge. Yeah, there we go. Let's swing onto the bridge. Water's getting a little bigger over here. See how long we can go. Water tends to give you the most anomalies in this game. The water makes it really evident when a problem, a rendering issue is happening. Most of the land, it covers with textures and trees, so you don't see it as much, but when there's a break in water, it's really obvious. Oh, we're out on the lake now. I'm pretty sure the lake would be making a lot more noise with this X-Wing flying over it like this. Really need something to shoot down. That's all I keep thinking. We need guns. Alright, so this is the X-Wing. I think we've got a pretty good feel for the X-Wing now. Give you some overhead shots. See, there's R2 just chilling up top. Underneath, there's some dirt. I was trying to wash it off. Wasn't successful. Do a barrel roll out of that. That's going to land us in the ground. Yep, right there. And that's our landing. We're just driving through the trees. Let's go get a TIE fighter. See what's up with the TIE fighter. Where should we take the TIE fighter, though? That's the question. Maybe somewhere a little bit more mountainous. It'd be cool to fly the TIE fighter through some ravines. Let's go to the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon Airport, Grand Canyon. Set the time where it's not in the middle of the night. And let's go get us a TIE Fighter. I drove the TIE Fighter, or flew the TIE Fighter earlier in the day today too. It's actually one of the few that you can sit on the inside of the cockpit, and it doesn't have anything, but it's a pretty accurate representation because a TIE Fighter is fairly open in the first place. So it's not too bad. But. And while this is loading, any of you guys out there that haven't already followed our page and hit the notification button so you get notified about our streams, whenever we get to 750 followers on our page, we're going to do a little giveaway. It's going to be kind of cool. So it'll be a little bit of money to like Epic or Steam of your choice. This is a dirt runway. So inside you can see it's pretty basic. There's just a hole in the front, but on the outside, this is Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. Give it all the gas. Oh, it's starting to go. It's real slow. I think I have to nose up this one. Get it out of the dirt. Alright. Come on. You can do it, TIE Fighter. It's epically slow, man. We're going to speed up the sim. I have to pull back on it real hard. We ought to take off in a second. Oh, there we go. We're going to get lift. Come on. You can do it. There we go. And we're airborne in the TIE Fighter. It's really hard to fly. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. No! I don't know what's wrong. I think it was flaps. It doesn't like to fly with flaps up. See how long of a run we can get here. Come on. Come on. Lift up. Get some lift. You can do it. Going real fast. Come on. Lift up. There we go. Really difficult. There's something wrong. This is not right. This aircraft did not load correctly. It flew fine earlier. Figures when I'm streaming it, it would not work right. Come on, TIE Fighter. We don't want to be stuck to the ground. We want to be in the air. That's where you belong. Have to find more ground to take off at. Come on, come out. Come on. Oh man, we're in the swamp. Something is up with this TIE Fighter, dude. I don't know. That worked fine earlier. I hate that because we were in the Grand Canyon too. How about we take the Millennium Falcon to the Grand Canyon? I know that flies good. Flies real well. Alright, Millennium Falcon to the Grand Canyon. Go back to Grand Canyon, fly. We'll load that back in here. So if anybody out there is interested in where I got these packs, if you're already playing Flight Sim and you'd like to add them to your own, I'll be more than happy to drop a link in a comment later. If you want to comment and ask me for that, I'll do that for you. They're really easy to add. They're just zip packages and you drop them in your community folder. Okay. Let's hope we don't have the same problem with this. Come on. It might just be this airport, man. Because I'm having a real hard time with this one too, and this one normally does not have a hard time. Come on. Lift up. Yeah, it doesn't want to stay airborne. It just wants to nosedive. I don't know what's up with this. It has something wrong with this airport. It does the same thing the TIE Fighter did. We'll just be on the road. Millennium Falcon on the road. Taking out the cars. Yeah, there we go. Bouncy. Okay, it's airborne, but it doesn't want to be for some reason. It just really wants to fall. I don't know what's up with it. We're gonna give it a really hard trim up. See if it'll stay. It'll stay with a really hard trim up. Okay. Maybe we're good if I don't roll it over on itself. Really does not want to fly. It wants to nosedive and die.
Los Angeles Center
Not
is
gonna
type
let it.
5 miles north of Kilo
Okay.
Golf Romeo Mike.
Alright.
Request flight following. Los Angeles Center.
Trim it back down.
Squawk 711 tree. Squawk 711 tree. Radar contact 6 miles northeast of Kilo Golf Romeo Mike 10,200 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Alright, let's go fly this in the Grand Canyon, man. I think I can do it without too much difficulty. I think. I think. Alright, let's level out. Okay, let's get in this ravine. If I crash, we're just going to load out. We're going to back right on out if I crash, because there's no way I'm taking off from inside this. Alright. Right. I don't know where this is going, so I hope it doesn't just suddenly end on us. Can't get too deep into it either. It's really, really touchy. So this is at regular speed right there. That's real slow. So that's 2x. Three X. 3x is maybe a little too touchy for being this deep in the ravine. Ah! We'll stick at 2. I think 2x is a good place to be. Flying the Millennium Falcon through the Grand Canyon. See if we can get some overhead shots here. I really wish it had engine noise, though. Really a bummer that it doesn't. Woo, touchy. No, pull up. Ugh. Come on, Han. Let Chewbacca fly. Might be better. They're also supposed to be releasing VR for Flight Sim pretty soon. I'm real excited for that. I have a Samsung VR headset that I'd really like to bust out and put on for this stuff. I think it might make me sick. Alright, we're going to pull out of this ravine because the rendering in here is not terrific.
Los Angeles Center, 3,900 feet.
This is not the game's best work.
Los Angeles Center, continue as planned.
Back on out.
9.902.
Alright.
Contact Los Angeles Center on 124.85.
Okay.
Going to
There we go.
124.85.
Get some airspeed here.
Los Angeles Center, 5,400 feet.
For those of you who didn't see earlier, very detailed model
Altimeter
of the Millennium Falcon.
Contact Los Angeles Center on 124.2. Going to 124.2. Los Angeles
We
Center,
do some crazy things with
6,100
this.
feet. Los Angeles Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902. Contact Los Angeles Center
Okay, I
on
gotta trim up now.
124.85.
It's really flaky.
124.85.
Really, really flaky.
Los Angeles Center, 8,100 feet. Los Angeles Center, continue as planned.
Alright.
Altimeter 29.902.
Really hard to fly from a sideways direction, too. But we must have hit an
Going
upwind
to 127.55.
on the edge
Denver
of that.
Center, 8,700 feet.
Oh man,
Denver Center, continue as
it's
planned.
really tough.
Altimeter
It wants to just flat out fall out of the sky. Alright. So we trimmed down. Not too far down. I wish it had an airspeed indicator. That would make life a whole lot simpler. And since it doesn't, we're just kind of guessing at this point. And there's just a whole lot of desert out here, isn't there? Go fast. go a little bit faster. It's going to be a little bit skippy in the stream, but that's just because the sim rate's so high right now. It's not actually the stream. It's just trying to render so much. So let's see if we can get somewhere fast. Over here. More canyon, I'm suspecting. Just some valleys. No biggie. Nothing too crazy. Shots of the Millennium Falcon going through those. So I did earlier, I flew this over my house, you know, because you have to fly the Millennium Falcon over your house if you're going to play it this game. It's the only way to live. It's really cool. I highly recommend that if you have this, you do the same thing. Go download these and fly it over your house and take you a nice screenshot of the Millennium Falcon just going straight over your house. It's really cool. Fuel tank low, critically low. Switch tanks to avoid fuel exhaustion. I don't know that this is going to actually do that. I don't think they work appropriately. So, if we run out of fuel, Cuba City, I'm not going to land this because I don't think landing is possible right now, based on what I've seen. The engine is obviously started. It's just going to keep telling me that over and over and over again. It doesn't understand. It doesn't know what's happening right now. Back a little bit there. Try to line up with this river. See where it takes us. Let the river guide us. Yeah, definitely cannot fly any other aircraft in this game in this manner without totally bombing them. Any other aircraft would be in the ground. Would have been in the ground at least 20 times by now. Of course, it'd probably be a whole lot easier to fly. But I just wouldn't be able to do the acrobatics.
Albuquerque Center on 124.5. 124.54. Albuquerque Center, 5,000 feet. Albuquerque Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
Alright. Where are we going? Where are you taking us, River? We're going to follow this a little ways, and then before we get done, I'm going to fly one of the Starship Enterprise ships. I think they're really cool. I've never been a Star Trek... that bit it. That bit it hard. For some reason, it just decided it wanted to go down. That happens. These ships by no means are airworthy. They are just for fun. So nobody's telling us they shouldn't crash. So when they do crash, we shouldn't be all surprised. Let's see what's cool over here. What can we go look at? Let's see, Spain. Munich. Where do we want to go? I kind of want to go to... Let's go to Paris. Paris. Does it matter? It doesn't matter, really. Paris Airport, Paris. That is not France. That is Paris, some other state in the United States. Go Paris, France. Maybe that'd be better if I put a country in. Let's just go with France. Franceville. Man, this is really terrible. I want to go to Paris, but I don't want to. I'm just going to pick something over here. Forget my searches, right? There's Italy. Neva. Bordeaux. We can just take off here. It'll still be beautiful. It's next to the ocean. All right, so I don't know. I want to give let's give the TIE Fighter one more chance. Let's see if he can do it. I think it was mostly that airport, that area. Something weird going on there. Should be perfectly fine. I flew the TIE Fighter earlier today, and it was not that big of a flop. It was pretty easy to fly. Actually, one of the more fun ones to fly. So, this should work, in theory. We'll let this load up. And then we'll terrorize France with our TIE Fighter. I think it'd be cool to fly Kitty Hawk. It gives you these nice little things at the bottom. I'm kind of blocking it with my webcam, but gives you some cool ideas about places to go fly. Kitty Hawk would be cool, as that's where the Wright brothers took their first flight. It'd be interesting to relive that, I suppose. Alright, come on. Come on, load up. We're all excited. Almost done. Here we go. Ready to fly in the TIE Fighter. Okay, let's hope we don't have the same level of problems that we had in the Grand Canyon. Looks like it's better. It's not terribly slow like it was. Alright, let's go. Come on, get some lift. Speed and lift. Here we go. Yes! It's gonna fly this time.
You are leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Merrick-Knack Tower frequency change. Aquitaine approach is type 1 miles west of Merrick-Knack. Request flight following.
So I have to trim down real hard because it wants to pull up badly. Real badly.
106 tree.
Okay, there we
Radar
go.
contact 2 miles northwest of Merrick-Knack, 1,400 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Let's get a little more speed.
Copy.
Slow down and get closer to the buildings down here. Pretty populated area. Let's see what we can see. Hear cars honking. Little roundabout there. We are at full throttle. I wish it told me my airspeed though. Have zero indication of the airspeed. I don't know how fast I'm going. Alright, so since we haven't really seen this one yet, I will do some...
Aquitaine approach.
I mean, it doesn't
Request
have clear
clearance to
windows
transition
in the
Charlie
front.
airspace.
It's all white.
Aquitaine approach.
You know, that's...
Cleared
It's
through the
okay.
Charlie airspace.
Other than that,
Cleared
really
through
nice
Charlie
detailed
airspace.
model. See, even the fins are nice and detailed. They're individual pieces, which is really cool. I'm sure it's an immense pain for my PC to render, but totally worth it. Let's see if it'll do a barrel roll. Oh, it will. Right into the water. Oh, we sunk it. We sunk it. Oh. Can't get it out of that. And that is one other thing about Flight Simulator. They don't give you any way to correct that. So if you do crash and burn, you can't just like flip your aircraft over or restart back on the tarmac. You've got to just back out and go back. Okay, so pick another beautiful area here. Where's some pretty stuff? Let's see. See if we can. We're gonna set his departure for Big Ben. We're gonna fly. This isn't StarCraft or StarCraft. It is too early in the morning. This isn't Star Wars. The DeLorean looks cool, but I bet that render is not as nice. Anyway, we're gonna fly the Enterprise, just because I think we have to. I have to get a little bit of Star Trek into this, you know, Star Wars group that I've got going. The Enterprise, it should be gigantic, right? I'm wondering if it's like a really scaled down version of the Enterprise. If not, it'll be really cool if it's gigantic. I have not flown this one. I have zero indication whether it is flight worthy or not. So it could be just totally terrible. I won't know till we try. If it crashes immediately, then we know what happened. Okay. Come on. More load time. Always a ton of load time. But yeah, this will be super awesome whenever they get VR. They're going to implement it for Windows mixed reality headsets. Originally, it was just going to be for the new HP MR headset, but then they kind of backtracked on that, and it will support all mixed reality headsets, which should be pretty awesome. Alright. You can do it. Load up. This game is like half waiting for loading screens. Takes a lot of patience. Come on. Come on. I want to go. This one might load us mid-air, too. I'm not sure that I had to take off. Since it's going to be... It said it's a Big Ben landmark, so I assume that it will just be above Big Ben in the air. Which might be better. Yeah. Okay, we're going to be in the air. Look at that. That's going to be cool. Okay.
Northolt approach is type 9 miles west of London City. Request flight following.
This is...
Northolt approach. Squawk 5672.
This is pretty cool. So this is the Starship
Squawk
Enterprise.
5672.
Radar contact 9 miles west of London City, 1,500 feet. Altimeter 29.92.
Give it some gas.
Copy.
We're gonna want to trim down again. All these ships want to like pull up super hard. The Houses of Parliament right there. Let's fly between them.
4054.
See if we can do
Begin
it.
approach 900 feet.
This thing actually flies pretty well. You can tell it is not. The physics are not relational to the shape at all. That is not what's happening here. So, yeah, we're just flying through London in this giant ship. It's a lot to render right now. Shard. I cruise up on the Shard. Not gonna touch it. We're gonna get out of the way a little bit there. Oh, man, I wish I could go through the bridge. I don't think I can fit. I don't think I can fit. I can go between the towers. Oh, I could have fit. I might have to. I'm gonna go back around and we're gonna go through it. Let's see. Let's see if we can get the Enterprise to go through it. I think it can happen. I may have to slow way down on the sim speed and get real accurate. Let's see. This, I don't think I can do the same kind of flips and flops like I was doing with the Millennium Falcon. It feels like, I mean, the physics are definitely not relational, but it feels a little more restrictive than something like the Millennium Falcon. Now, it could just be my perception because of the nacelles in the back. Yes, I use the right term, the nacelles. I have watched myself a whole bunch of Star Trek. I'm a super nerd. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I'm down low enough. Down low enough.
Approach on 126.45.
Okay, let's go real slow.
126.45. Northolt approach 100 feet.
I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
Northolt approach continue as planned.
Yes! Right through. Oh no! I hit it the last second. My nacelle hit it. Now I'm literally inside the building. Okay. And now cars are running through me. That is not cool. That's not cool, bro. That was pretty awesome, though, I have to say. Yeah, pretty happy with that one. That flew, like I said, not as well as the Millennium Falcon, but obviously it's a very different experience with the stuff hanging off the end, the nacelles hanging off the end, and the big round disc in the front. There's only really one more we haven't tried, and that's the DeLorean. So let's do the same thing. I kind of like that takeoff area. Let's see. Big Ben has the Parliament. It says departure. Let's try the DeLorean. Why not? I wonder if it only goes 88 miles an hour. Possible. We're going to wait for yet another loading screen. But this should be, I don't know that it'll take that long because we just loaded this. I think the rolling cache should already have a lot of this world in it. Maybe. Could take just as long. Who knows? This game takes up 220 gigs on my hard drive. Like I said, it is an M2 SSD, so it's about as fast as it can get, and the load times are still pretty horrendous. It is smaller, however, than Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which it's astounding how large Call of Duty Modern Warfare is. 250 gigs for that. I will take this game over that one for storage size any day. It seems like this one has a lot more bang for your buck per gigabyte than Call of Duty Modern Warfare. But if you intend to play this, you better go get yourself a really big flash disk, because that's about the only way to get it done. And a lot of memory. This machine has 32 gigs of memory, and it takes 50% of that to run this game. Alright, it's almost done. The DeLorean's coming. I hope it looks better than the preview pictures, because the preview pictures are pretty pitiful. That's alliteration there. I'm hoping that the actual model is better than the preview pictures. I'll be a little disappointed if it's not. Hoping they just took a bad picture for the preview. No, the model's just about like the preview pictures. It's not the best. That's bad.
Miles
Okay.
west of London City.
Oh, this one has
Light following.
this one has engine noise.
North approach. Squawk 6725.
All right, so this one is not as well modeled, obviously.
Contact 90 miles west of London City, 1,700 feet.
It's a pretty,
Altimeter 2.9.2.
it's a pretty crummy model.
Copy.
And I'm gonna say right now that
1,9.405.
it's loud for everybody. Let's turn that down a bit.
129.4054.
All right.
Beacon approach.
Okay, let's do the same thing.
1,400 feet.
Beacon approach, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.92.
Yeah, the noise is really strange. They tried on this one to get a good noise, but
Northfold approach 100 feet.
there we go.
Approach, continue as planned.
We pulled it out.
Contact beacon approach on 129.405.
129.405. Beacon approach 0.
Beacon approach, continue as
Come on.
planned. Altimeter 29.92.
Oh, come on. Normally you can get out of water. No! Can I not get out of water this time? I can get out of this water. Tell me I can get out of this water. Yeah, come on, pull up, pull up, pull up. I can totally get out of this water. No! It's high-centered. That was a short run for the DeLorean. It's not a well-modeled one anyway. This is definitely not the best DeLorean render I've ever seen, but it's still kind of cool. Anyway, you guys have seen them all now. So these are just some mod packs that came out. A dude spent a lot of time retrofitting 3D models onto piston aircraft. Came up with some cool stuff. So if you have Flight Simulator, I highly recommend you go check them out. They're pretty easy to find. There's a bunch of articles on the internet about them now because stuff like this just isn't out for Flight Sim yet. So definitely go do some Google searches and find it. It's really easy to put into your simulator. They're not terrible to fly. They're not easy to fly either. They're not like a traditional aircraft, but you get used to it. But it's pretty cool for videos and screenshots. Definitely do it. Fly it over your house, take a screenshot, post it on Facebook. Everybody will love it. Anyway, thanks for hanging in there, guys. I know there was a lot of load screens. I was just super excited to find these and wanted to show them to everybody. Be sure to follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/NerdDadsLair. When we get to 750 followers, we're going to do a giveaway. So get in there, be part of it. Make sure to hit the notification button so you see when we go live. Until next time, we will catch you nerds later. Maybe. Hold on.